transactions, which impose a cash handling charge on daily cash withdrawals that exceed 500,000 naira for individuals and 3 million naira for corporate bodies in 2012. Further aware that the policy on cash-based transactions, withdrawals in banks was aimed at reducing and not eliminating the amount of physical cash, coins, and notes circulating in the economy, and encouraging more electronic-based transactions, payment for goods, services, transfers, etc. Note, the House knows that the cash policy was introduced for a number of key reasons, including the need to drive development and modernization of our payment system in line with Nigeria's Vision 2020 goal of being among the top 20 economies by the year 2020, to reduce the cost of banking services, including cost of credit, and drive financial inclusion by providing more efficient transactions, options, and greater reach, among others. The House knows also that a variety of benefits are expected to be derived by various stakeholders from an increased utilization of e-payment systems, which include increased convenience, more service options, reduced risk of cash-related crimes, cheaper access to out-of-branch banking services, access to credit and financial inclusion for consumers, faster access to capital, reduced revenue leakage and reduced cash handling costs for corporations, and increased tax collection, greater financial inclusion, increased economic development for the government. The House is cognizant that the Central Bank of Nigeria has signaled the implementation of this policy, which will signal the imposition of charges on deposits in addition to already existing charges on withdrawals. The House is informed that the charges, which took effect from yesterday, 18th September 2019, will attract 3% processing fees for withdrawals and 2% processing fees for lodgement of amounts above 500,000 naira for individual accounts, and 5% processing fees for withdrawals and 3% processing fees for lodgement of amounts above 3 million naira for corporate accounts. Informed again that a charge on deposits would apply in Lagos, Ogun, Kano, Abia, Anambra, and Rivers states, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, and that the total nation implementation of the cashless policy would take effect from the 31st of March 2020. Worried that implementation of cashless policy in Nigeria so far has led to significant decrease in deposit mobilization and credit extension by Nigerian money deposit banks. Deeply worried that implementation of cashless policy on withdrawals has negative impact on micro, mini, small and medium enterprises, which are clearly the engine room for growth of the economy and employment generation, thereby throwing many of them out of business and sending more Nigerians into poverty, forcing more traders and micro investors to carry cash about with its attendant security challenges. Agreed that while the impact of the cashless policy on withdrawal is still staring us all in our faces, as well as other numerous burdensome charges by Nigerian money deposit banks heavily impacting on businesses, the Central Bank of Nigeria deemed it necessary to impose the implementation of cashless policy on deposits without due consultations with all shades of stakeholders who will be impacted by the policy. Concerned that these overbearing burden aimed at closing down majority of micro, mini, small, medium businesses in Nigeria is aimed at enriching Nigerian money deposit banks owned by a privileged few without any known financial contribution to the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation. Deeply concerned that the Central Bank of Nigeria did not consider the people as the prime important and indeed the centerpiece of policy making, even as Section 14 sub 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as altered, provides for the security and welfare of the people as the primary purpose of government. The House resolves to 1. Urge the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of the cashless policy on deposits, which has taken effect from Wednesday, 18 September 2019, until appropriate and extensive consultative process is concluded. And 2, mandate the Committee on Banking and Currency to interface with the Central Bank, CBN, to ascertain the propriety, relevance, and the actual need for the implementation of that aspect of the cashless policy at this time, considering the prevailing economic situation of the country, and to report back to the House within 4 weeks. I so humbly move. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
My name is Honorable Gonos Libu. I represent the good people of Wangele, Unkwarisu, and Njaba Federal Constituency of Imo State. Right, Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this very important motion as moved by my colleague, Honorable Ben Kano. I so move. Second.
Where the implementation will start. Because I've read the mood of the House, but I still want to swim against the tide. Sorry? I said I have read the mood of the House, but I still want to swim against the tide. The motion is very important, very germane, and also I'm even hearing it for the first time at the floor of this House that this policy is coming up. But I want to beg that we have handed over our micro and macro and financial arrangement to some persons. The prayer of the motion says 4 weeks to report back to the House. Mr. Speaker, I think that will be too long if it were granted. In my view, we do not know the reasons why those who've called experts to look at our micro and macro finances have done that. We have relevant committees like they've suggested. In my thinking, I will agree, perhaps, to the suspension, but if the central bank governor should immediately brief the relevant committee of the House, why? As to the appropriation of the transit for us to stand here and say, take a hold. We may not be interfering per se in the policy formulators and makers. We are supposed to work together. There should be a synergy. I think the lacuna here that they've not briefed off why they are putting this in place. I think there must be a reason. We do not know now. And we should not work. Can I conclude? Do I still have the floor? I've read the mood of the House, but I still want to swim against the tide. So I should think that within 3 legislative days, the CBN governor should be made to appear before the relevant committee to brief us otherwise before we can come to a conclusive debate on this. That's my take on it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so got the amendment.
That Chumbagos, just South, just East constituency. I'm seconding the amendment by Honorable Abente because if we wait for 4 weeks and people start piling money at home, not going to the bank without knowing the reason, 4 weeks is very long, sir. So let's save the nation so that the nation will know the reason why the central bank is.
Okay, the amendment is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Mohammed Gudaji Kazaure, member representing Kazaure, Roni, Viwa, Mkwashi. Mr. Speaker, I am from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, this issue is very important. I heard that Honorable Abante talking that we should call the CBN governor to come and tell us the reason. We don't need the reason. Anything that will affect our people is our responsibility as representative of the people here. If we see anything that will affect people, to stop it. Mr. Speaker, seriously, I heard some people today complaining that somebody with a capital of 300,000, he is feared to keep that money in his home. He take to the bank. Maybe the profit he will get out of that 300,000 is 5,000 or 7,000 naira. The bank will remove 15,000 for the deposit. Mr. Speaker, if we look at the situation, Mr. Speaker, people are suffering in this country, and now we are going to the CBN now are trying to become a robbers. Definitely, Mr. Speaker, if CBN will post this, how can you, Mr. Speaker, those you take your money, your own money, to the bank to keep? Bank will remove when you to remove something because we keep the money. Mr. Speaker, people, this money is very.
Honorable Kaza, it's called handling charges. Handling charges.
Mr. Speaker, there is handling. They are reducing the charges. Constantly there is charges already. Whenever you put money in the bank, they will remove the charges, and monthly they will remove withdrawal percentage every month. Already there is that withdrawal percentage and the others. But this, Mr. Speaker, just if you deposit money, you keep your money. So now they are telling us that our local people will fear to take their money to the bank. And at last, then the criminal will get opportunity to go and continue stealing the money. So, Mr. Speaker, seriously, this issue will cause serious problem in this country. That is why we must call the attention of the CBN to stop this implementation. Now, Mr. Speaker, they said, if you are withdrawing above 500,000, there is charges. Of course, since we need the cashless policy in this country, that policy is good. If you need more cash, you pay. That one, there is no. But when you are just deposit, you are depositing your money, and they are withdrawing something, and when you come to withdraw, they will. So at last, somebody with a small capital, a bank will make him to become loose, Mr. Speaker. At last, if we will allow this to continue in this country, Mr. Speaker, seriously, we cannot go to our constituency. If we go to our constituency.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. We're going to put the question now.
I'm Honorable Akin Alabi. I represent the good people of Egbeda Naira Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Oyo State. I'm going to make this very short because of time. Please, I want the House to understand that eventually we're going to go cashless, like it's done in so many places all over the world. The UK, that a lot of us frequent, you can't deposit cash in a UK bank again, for example. We are eventually going to go there. But the manner this was done is very wrong. No one was consulted. The House was not consulted. Who was consulted? It was like a decree, like we're in the military era. This concerns everybody, and this should not stand. You are claiming, the CBN is claiming that we want to go cashless. You are saying we want to go cashless, but you're still charging fees for transactions online. Maintenance fees, card fees online. So if you go online, you go cash, they must collect toll gate. That's what they are saying. So they are not being truthful if they say it's because they want us to go cashless. So I support the motion in the sense that they must explain what's going on within the shortest possible time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Amending the 4 weeks? No? 4? I believe the prayer was for suspension immediately, wasn't it? That was the prayer. Yes. So we'll put the question. Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Those against? Where's Honorable Banta? Just to be sure. Just to be sure. Those in support, please say aye. Honorable Abanta, those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader.